Welcome to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social, where we help you stay ahead of social media trends, share the latest news, and highlight the strategies that are working to help you grow your business. Now let's join our hosts, Tristan and Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
Our friend Rett Harmon joined us for a Taste of Social, our third Social Genius virtual event, and the wisdom he shared about how he used social media to grow his local brand and built his team by wearing fun suits. His strategy of consistent content and pairing social media with a quarterly direct mail campaign can be replicated. Tune in and find out how you can use your passion and steal his success strategy in order to build your business in 2023.
What's up, Rett? What's going on, guys? I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. And I just got back from Georgia, and I was spending a day with Rett, and we had a great time and did some cool stuff with his team. For those of you that don't know Rett Harmon, first of all, like we're going to tell you with every speaker today, make sure you go follow them. Rett does things so incredibly unique still to this day. When Tristan and I both met Rett, probably around the same time, a number of years ago, he just stood out. And it's because you see right over his left shoulder there, because that's part of it.
It's not my closet, it's my office.
This is his office. Those are all of his suits. And what him and his team put together in terms of marketing and how they utilize it to differentiate and brand themselves is so incredibly unique. And I told Rett when I was just there with him, I'm like, I'm shocked that nobody has copied what you're doing. And I don't know why. I mean, I've thought about it at one time, like I should do that. I should be a suit guy too. Rett, welcome, man. Thanks for being here.
Man, thank you so much. Fun stuff. Sometimes things just find you. Sometimes we find things and, you just kind of go with it. Sometimes it's a bad joke that never really got finished. And, a lot of things that I do, if it makes me laugh, I think maybe that's a good idea. And sometimes I'm the only one laughing, but, sometimes it works out that to will stick and you can keep going off of. And that's kind of what I want to talk about is looking at the things we've done successfully in the past and bringing that back to now, the present. And we always are trying to one up what we did or one up something else. A lot of us probably on here probably view ourselves as the biggest competition in what's going on. How do we keep going with stuff? How do you keep things moving? And, there's a lot of things that we have around us. We continue to do a different take on a different version of it. And that's kind of what I want to share some stuff with. So I would like to share a couple of videos, 2 quick videos. Can I have the ability to share with this, I guess? Yeah. And let me also say, Rett, before we go, Rett is Century 21. So this is the next one. And Rett is a very big deal within that organization. So if you're a C21er, raise your hand. I'm sure you've seen Rett speak before at one of the C21 events. So Rett, yes, take it away, my friend. Absolutely. So, all right, we got you got sharing going. Can you give him access, Tristan?
Yeah, I think he should be good. I put him as a co-host. You should be good.
I think the maybe in the wrong link though. It's just I do stuff backwards. So anyway, we won't take too long with it. We can't pull it out.
Rett, you can always send us the link and I can post it up for you. Which one are you looking for?
Well, Andy put them on my computer, some stuff we haven't even released yet. So some of it's just sitting here.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me just unmake you co-host and make you co-host again. So,
and one thing we could also do, if it doesn't work, Rett, you could also just send them over to us and then we can post them.
Definitely. I'll do that for sure.
Yeah. All right. You should be good to go, man. In the meantime, if you want, I can share one of my favorite videos that you just
go ahead and share that one, and then we can have the follow-up one right after that. Yeah, absolutely.
Recently. So here's what Rett's talking about when he says we're looking at things that we've done in the past that we did well, and we're looking at doing them again, but differently. And one of the videos that he did a long time ago, which I loved and I shared everywhere, is the one where he changes up his suits. And he just redid that one. Here's a short, it's not the long one, but if you want to follow him on Instagram, here's what this looks like. Let me pause it. Let me turn up the volume and let me grab this and tell me if you can see my screen, Jeff, Rett. Okay, here we go.
Can't hear it though.
Oh, there it is. You can't hear it? Let me just put up the link so everyone can see this then.
No, but you can still play it. It's still a pretty cool video.
Yeah, but I'm going to grab the link instead and share it with everyone in the chat. Now you're going to go, everyone, watch us on Instagram right now and follow Rett. You're going to love that video. Just the creativity and then just understanding of what he's talking about saying. And we don't do this. I don't see anybody here doing this, where we go back and we take a look at what's worked and we do more of that and change it up, right? That's what we need to be doing. Okay, Rett found his video. I love this. We see your screen, buddy. I see the
Which
bench.
one do you see? You see the picture? You see the bench? Okay, perfect.
I see the bench.
Get ready to play?
Yep.
Let's go.
All right, so the one that you just shared was a different version. So in the little context behind this, there was a video we did about 3 or 4 years ago. I probably had maybe 20 suits or so at that time. And that's one of the ones Tristan was referring to. We remade that. That video took about a couple hours, did the full suits, and then got thinking, like, we haven't done anything with this again. I've got over 55 suits now, which is a whole nother story. But we incorporated a video shoot and a photo shoot and did multiple shots in every single suit, staying in the same position. Took over 6 hours just to shoot it. I don't know how long the guys took editing it, but the one that Tristan shared from Instagram, that is from Andy, that's on my sales team, did that. One of our employees, so he edited that one, and then James, our video guy, did this one. So I'll play it for you guys too. It's 30 seconds.
That's so good, man. I love that.
Thank you.
How long did it take to shoot that video?
Yeah.
6 hours, but we did that video, the one that you just shared from Instagram, and we also had another backdrop set up, and I had a photographer in here doing still shots. So it was like, it's a pain in the ass putting on all these suits. I mean, hanging them back up and everything. But I'd got 55 profile shots made in different poses for different times of the year. A lot of these are holiday associated or something going on during the year, or a sports team or whatever it is. So pretty cool to get a chance to do that. And while we're talking about that theme, I'll share one more thing and go back to what we were doing. I believe it is this one right here. If you don't mind, I'll share this one. And this is less than a minute, but this is going to be what I talk about too, is the consistency of doing postcard campaigns, incorporating a lot of stuff back with it.
Dude, yesterday, go to his Instagram, all of you. Check out his video from yesterday. Him and his team, Rett was Santa Claus and his reindeers, and they were walking through the Chick-fil-A drive-through. It was so awesome.
You can take back over if you want to, Tristan. I'm good, I think.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me do this. This is funny, dude. I want to see that other one. Here's some questions for you though, because people are looking in and saying, wow, 6 hours, that's a lot of commitment. That's a lot of video. I mean, there's a lot of pieces to what you do.
It is. And I'm not saying, but also how long did it take to acquire, and the expense of acquiring 55 suits too. I mean, so that's a little bit insane. It's insane within itself, but I bet people have 50 shoes in their closet. And I bet they could do something similar with shoes or whatever it is. So everyone's got that social object or something that they do. I do a lot of stuff around fishing with my kids. I post a lot of content about that. That's a lot of our YouTube strategy. Actually, I'm going to develop that into a totally new channel for that as well. So we're getting a lot of traction there with it. But that postcard campaign is so solid with staying consistent with our past clients and our referral partners. And I didn't know until I sat down. I keep following a little ring right here, and I keep hanging it up in my office. Every time we do another one, put a hole in it, put on the ring. 16 of these, we do them 4 times a year. And plus I do, Christmas cards that I send out to just, some of my immediate friends and family as well. But this goes out to 3,000 people 4 times a year. And we're constantly adding to that list. It started out, it was 500, then it was 1,000, then it was, 3,000, and it's continuing to grow. So, but by doing that, it's a very simple, it's 5 seconds of fun before it goes in the recycling bin or whatever. But a lot of people hang on to these, or they hang them up, and we send them to local restaurants, and we send them to local bars on the area. And we always print another 100 extra ones we can take around with us and just hand them out when we're doing different events and stuff too. People ask, hey, how do I follow you guys? It's better than a business card. It's got the picture they wanted anyway, but they've got it and they take it with them. So a lot of cool stuff, but this the consistency of those things. So when I mentioned take the things that you already have and then go deep with it, that whole shoot taking that long was a little bit extreme, but I had like basically 5 or 6 different ideas that we could capture footage or video of, that we just had a couple of different videos so far. I can do a whole nother one that only based on Christmas seeds, or I could do it over something around Halloween or something around another time of the year. But I've got the content and the footage there in different poses, so that, I can make 50 videos. I think people get tired of it by then, but there's a lot of really good stuff that we can edit back into other things, which is really, I'm excited also to see what, y'all's team can do. We kind of partnered recently with SocialGenius, and I'm excited about that. And this is what my big strategy is taking the things that we're already doing and we already have, and getting maximum exposure across all platforms with them. A lot of the short form content, but also doing a little deeper dive with some of the other stuff. So that's going to be really, really big for what we're trying to do. But start off with what you have, and make it around something you already enjoy. If you already enjoy something, or you have gotten deep enough into whatever it is, you use it. And like I said, I haven't spoken at many conferences where I have a lot of these seats. It started out an ugly Christmas sweater party that I had one for, and I just started, they found me. I kept, they're showing up my feed on social media. I'm that guy that buys stuff. It's stuff I want, right? And I see it, I like it, and I buy it. That's how a lot of consumers operate, right? And a lot of people like to consume what you guys are doing because they see what you're doing, but it's not always about the real estate stuff you're putting out there. That's part of it. And that's, people need to know what you do, but they need to know that they can like you, know you, trust you, feel like they, that you're already friends before you even meet in person. So that when you do finally meet, there's already that familiarity. It's almost like the celebrity status in a way. Jeff talks about this a lot, so does Tristan, but it works. And it's kind of humbling. And a lot of times you don't really want to understand that it's working and how it's working. So a lot of cool stuff there, but we just try to do creative content with a very strong community focus. And that's like you mentioned, looking at our feed earlier and from yesterday, the whole Chick-fil-A drive-through, that was an afterthought, because we were really, obviously we always, we've done the elf on the shelf stuff, and we did the reindeer thing this year for our Christmas card, but we help out with the Shop on a Cop. And there's like 4 different days of that. And we participated 3 to 4 days this year. Jeff was here one of the days. I didn't tell him, I didn't want him to think we were going to have to leave for that. But we stayed and listened to his stuff, because it's really, really good. But we go and participate with that. We help show off what the local law enforcement agencies are doing. They raise money on their own through fundraisers, golf tournaments, whatever they do. And they take underprivileged kids and special needs kids, and a lot of them are affected by their actual departments, and they take them shopping to get them what they need and what they want. They spend a couple $100s on each kid, either Target or Walmart, buying them clothes, socks, pajamas, whatever they need, shoes, and also letting them get toys. And there's a lot of those kids, that's all they get. And years ago, they reached out, the police department, or the president of the Fraternal Order Police reached out and said, hey, we want to hire you guys to come do a video for us. Like, they were looking to pay us to do something. So, well, let's think about this. And what he thought he wanted was a 7 to 10 minute video about what they did. And I was like, what are you really trying to achieve? So we just need better exposure for us. I agree, because I don't really know what this is. I've lived here for 20 years plus, and I didn't, know what was going on with it. And then we got a chance. So why don't we let us just attend it and let us capture as it's going on, kind of my own perspective. We can say things a little different than you can about yourself. And we showed the officers kind of that kindness they were given, and the joy on their face, being able to help people. And that went a really long way. And we partnered with them even still. Now the whole team's involved with it. We actually kind of help out some of the kids with shopping, and our whole sales team, which is who always in those photos stuff. They really get a lot out of it. And going back to the themes we always come up with, which that's another thing. It's a chore figuring out something different every time. but everyone has buy-in on that. And it's kind of one of the prerequisites of the team. Somebody wants to be a part of it. A retro group is the name of the team. If you want to look us up there, I'm not sure which one he shared, but we have a lot of good fun with this kind of stuff, but having buy-in from everybody and their ideas is what makes it what it is. I start off with something crazy. What else do you have? And then what can we do to really be impactful at the same time? When we do the photo shoot for the card, we're going to do some video content also, and we're going to have a call to action. We might do a giveaway. We did one of my favorite ones that's probably the most successful. We did a handemic during the pandemic. Went to a local grocery store. We gave away 21, pick a good number, 21, right? Honey baked hams, and gave those away. And the little call to action was, even if you don't want it for yourself, you can give it to whoever you want to that's in need or whatever. And we also gave away a gift card to a local grocery store. And but we got inside of a grocery store during the pandemic to shoot this content. They weren't really letting a lot of people in with stuff, and it was because we were trying to do it the right way. We did the mask and all the other stuff. So, but it was a lot of fun. But it's also very rewarding to be able to do that and to see how it actually impacted people locally. So. Little stuff like that, you just kind of be creative, take the thing you're already doing and try to make it a little bit better. That's what I'm always trying to work on. And then going back on the strategies for each of the channels. Facebook's always been our biggest go-to. I wish I'd gone deeper into YouTube earlier on, but we got into it a little bit later. But I'm dealing with this now. Tristan tried to help me with a little bit. My Facebook company brokerage page is shut down right now from being able to advertise on or put a lot of posts. We put a little bit out, but it's very, very crippled right now. So I don't know what to do with that. We're going to figure it out at some point, but a lot of the content we had on there and a lot of the views, that stuff kind of falls off over time. So, we've always kept our content. I have several hard drives in a safe, that we keep extra stuff on, but like that the analytics behind it, that it goes away. So, which brings back the point we're talking about too, is like repurposing some of your old content that you can bring back in a different light and share some of the things that we've done in the past. And you can get in your own head about, well, that one person no longer is on our team anymore. Yeah, but I've spent thousands of dollars creating this content. They were okay with it at the time. It's nothing that's putting them in a bad light. We're going to reshare that again. We'll just say this was from the past. At the end of the day, if they're wearing a costume, people might not recognize them anyway, right? So I don't get in my own head so much if that's one of the cases, if somebody's no longer in real estate or whatever. But you think about, how can you take what you have and make it better? Or just take what you're working on. Like we did that content. We want to make it we shot it in different formats so we can put it in different places. We have the short form and the long form, and used a couple different backgrounds as well. Like the one was around the coffee bar in our office. The other one was in front of the bench in the window. So we took something that would have taken 5 hours and we made it 6 hours, but we got 5 times the stuff out of it. And that's what we have to think about. So our time is so precious. But how can we plan out what we're doing and be more intentional, and then have the plan to go back and make sure we're putting it where it goes. So I don't want to ramble too much, you guys. If you got any direction we to kind of share more with or focus with, I'm happy to share.
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge we're finding is people have a mindset issue when it comes to really sitting down and saying, well, I can actually do this, because they look at your finished products, they look at Jeff's products on social, and they're like, well, man, they're so far advanced. Like, how do I even get there? If you were going to start all over, where would you be able to then incrementally grow to where you're at? How does that look?
By now, you certainly know that Instagram is a social media platform that is arguably the most important platform to establish your brand and business as we head into the future. Understanding that growing a following is simply what the world tells you is important, but in actuality is purely vanity with very little results. And that's why we have come to really appreciate and endorse Michelle Berman with the Instagram Power Method, who teaches you how to actually connect with ideal clients and attract them to you without having to sell. Michelle comes from a place of practicing what she preaches, as she has built her business 100% through organic Instagram leads. Everything is rooted in sales psychology and conversation based on tapping into the brains of your ideal client. Vanity metrics are for, well, vanity. Go connect with Michelle today. Check out PowerMethodMasterclass.com. That's PowerMethodMasterclass.com, and be prepared to change your business's life.
Well, I think everyone has pretty much had to start over when short form video became the norm, because it doesn't really matter how fancy of equipment you have, whatever. Everyone's kind of on the level playing field for the most part with doing stuff on their phone. And the ones that use their phone the most or the best at techniques with editing skills and things like that can get the stuff put together. It doesn't, some of the stuff is not expected to be as professionally, shot or produced or whatever. You can do a lot of that stuff with some really cool apps and have that finished product look very close to that and get it out there quickly. That's huge. I think it's just a matter of just staying current with what's going on. And the cool thing about it is for us is like, I've run a very, large team. We got a medium-sized team. We have eight members total. 3 of them are staff, but we do high volume. So we do have a good bit of marketing that we do, but we're getting mileage out of not having to, spend money to promote some of these, self-promotional type things. We can just put these out there in different platforms, and those things take off like wildfire. And then because of that, when we are advertising a listing or things like that, and we still have advertising budgets, of course, for all that, it already has that credibility or the analytics to help push that a little bit further. So I think we're able to kind of leveraging the fun stuff to throw out a little bit of extra stuff, the jab, right hook, Gary Vee approach stuff. You got to give a bunch of stuff away. And sometimes just a smile to somebody. Times are stressful. People have a lot going on. A lot of people just want to sit there and scroll and smile for a minute, or just, kind of use that as they're sitting around the TV. So, I kind of think about it as, if we can do something, make them laugh a little bit or be a little bit goofy, or at least just wonder, hey, what was that? That's kind of bizarre. Or, what, that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. And then when the real estate conversations come up, they already know what you do. You just kind of have to be more subtle with it. And I think that's a very solid approach, but I still have to remind myself, and this is the hard part for me, is I do have to do more real estate content. And I have to do it in ways that doesn't bore me. And that's hard to know that it's there. But then I revert back to, what do people want to know? They want to know certain answers to things at different times. So we're answering those questions that we get asked anyway. I'm just trying to get better about pulling the camera out and at least recording it as I'm answering the question, which I can then turn around and just post it. Now someone else could benefit from that. It might only be 2 people, but those 2 people that benefited from might be your next customers you need, right? So, and Jeff and I were talking about this, and he thankfully was able to use me as kind of the guinea pig when we did the class in our office. I posted something and it didn't get the same attraction. I posted something completely random and different that got a ton of attraction. And, I was kind of bizarre that this didn't take off better. And kind of, use that as a legitimate example. It was kind of good to hear the perspective. It's like, that didn't come across well, but you still got several hundred views out of it. And, the real point, the takeaway from that is those several hundred are my people. Like, they consumed that and loved it and watched all of it. And as long as I'm entertaining that small group of what's going on, that's good and important. So the lesser performing videos that had the right kind of messaging in there, or entertainment, or whatever it is you're trying to do to stay in front of your people, is what you got to keep doing consistently. And then the anomalies, when you have one go viral or get, a lot of views, that's just kind of cool. Maybe, and we're talking about this too, is looking at those analytics to realize, what should I make more content about? What does the audience really want to see? And do you have the ability to make more content about that topic, or do you want to just learn about that topic and then post your learnings about it as you go? So all interesting, relevant stuff. But the one thing that I try to do as much as anything is I have a goal. I don't have to be everyone's, realtor in my market, but I want everyone in my market to know that I sell real estate. And they do, because of just repetition doing this. I mean, I've hired James, our video content creator. We've been working together for 8 years, getting together 1 day a month, shooting local business content, or local commercials on local businesses about them. And we soft brand it and, put it out there over and over and over, or whatever event they got coming up or whatever their community happenings are going on. We share that, and it's almost like it's a section of the news or media, or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of these same companies, they've never had any idea about anything like that for them. They might even advertise. They just have a very solid business. They're good at what they do. And these are companies that are my competitors. We're all competitors and we're all friends in the real estate business. We come from a place of abundance. But if their parents run a dry cleaning service and they're one of the agents I go up against listings with, I'm still going to promote that dry cleaning service because they do a good job, right? And that's where I take my stuff. And I don't want to endorse somebody I don't know anything about, unless it's something new that we're saying, hey, this is a new business. If you want to try them out, you're welcome to. This is what they do. We do some of that because you cycle through so many in a smaller town. But it's really cool how you can just constantly stay in front of people, but it's that consistency of doing that. And there's a lot of times you do it one day a month, all day long. It's an exhausting day. There's been several times that like you just don't feel like it. You got to do it. And I read a comment earlier, and there someone said, I want to do this video strategy. I'm paraphrasing it, but I don't know if I want to do the work. And at the end of the day, it is work. Like, there's a lot of people that don't like cold calls. And there's some people that don't mind it at all. But like, we have to do some calls sometimes to call back our people. Maybe not the cold calls, but you got to follow up call with people sometimes, right? I don't care what it is that you do, there are going to be some aspects of it that's work, but it's got to be done to get you through the closing table, to get more deals, more clients. Social media is that work right now that a lot of people have been avoiding, but they need to do. For some people, it's like going to the gym. If you're not committed to going to the gym, you got to make that commitment. And I've been thinking about this a lot, and that's one of the main reasons I decided to partner with SocialGenius this year to figure out some things that I want to do better. Is I'm finally going to get serious about video. I have played around with video, even though we've done it every month. I'm about to get serious with video and really incorporate it a lot more intentionally. I record a lot, especially stuff with my kids, family, things I'm already doing, but I'm very poor about telling the whole story or getting to a point where I've got a usable piece of content. I was joking around, so I could probably die and somebody get my phone and have 6 years worth of content in my phone that I recorded, unique stuff that's just trips I go on or whatever it is we're doing, fishing in Florida, fishing tournament with my kids, cheerleading competitions, whatever's there. But you have to have that right context to tell a story through there. And that's the part that I'm getting better about. And some of them, I just got to do it a little, little video, saying a few words or putting a few words on a screen, telling the audience what's going on. And that's the part that I'm becoming much more intentional about. And that's what I'm excited about for 2023.
And there's two things I want to mention, Rett. First of all, I love that how you articulated that, like your freeze-dried steak content, which was just a random in the moment thing, is viral. But ultimately, when you go back to the real estate content, this is the way it works for all of us. Your business content, by and large, will be duds because no one's going to social for business content. That's spammy content. That's just the reality. The reason why you do the freeze-dried steak and the random authentic stuff is because that's where you get the mass eyeballs to potentially create more followers who then become, out of that pocket, raving fans who are the 100, 200, 300 views who actually watch the stuff that you want them to see. Very few of us, if any of us, are going to be massively viral because we're real estate agents or real estate professionals, mortgage professionals, whatever. But that's the game. And Rhett's figuring this out. And we talked about this the other day because we kind of just had our little mastermind session. I'm like, dude, you need to do more fishing. You need to do more of the cooking because your audience is telling you that's what they want. And I love how you said that. But I have a question because your style is so incredibly unique. One of the hardest things for people on social is just putting themselves out there. It's just genuinely, let alone as a clown. And I say that lovingly because I love your stuff.
These are clown suits. I'll be the first one to say it.
I love it. But for the old school people, there's so many people in our world that would call you a clown and say you're not professional. Or there's people that, I've had countless people come to me and say, a local agent cut me down because they said, what are you doing? What are you, just a local mayor? Are you not selling real estate anymore? When in reality, that means they're doing something right because they're putting out content that's actually interesting to their audience. And the person who is the troll, the person who's talking smack, is frankly either just completely ignorant, I'm going to be nice, or they're intimidated because they can't do it themselves. They're afraid to do it themselves. And so, Rett, you're at the highest level of goofiness. And so when we talk about it and somebody's thinking to themselves, oh, I couldn't do that because I'm going to turn off the professional person. How do you react to that? Because I think that's a big fear of people is if I'm not professional, I'm going to lose customers. But how do you respond to that?
So I'm going to say this. A lot of people won't catch this or hear or understand it. But when I put on that suit, I put it on, I don't see that suit. Everybody else sees that suit, right? There's a lot of mental ability that comes from something like that. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I've gone to a conference and I'll be on stage and I've spoken one of these, whatever. And then we all go to lunch. I'm like, what the hell are these people staring at me? Like, what's their problem? And they realize, oh shit, I'm wearing the suit, But you have to just be, comfortable with that, like somewhat about not caring. But at the end of the day, I try to do the goofy stuff, but also I'm extremely involved with community stuff. I want to be that dad that's really supportive of my kids, my family, and my wife and everything. And if they've got something going on, like the state, my daughter's cheerleading team for the high school was going to the state competition, and they had the marching band out there, and they had the big send off of the bus, and all the moms got on there and decorated the bus, everything. Well, I hired James, and we went over there, and I've done enough stuff at the school. They know who we are. We walked right in, got in the little pep talk they got by one of the other dads right before they got on the bus. We were able to record that. Got a chance showing off the band, like letting people live through that moment that couldn't leave work to go see the send off, and just highlight that, and really use stuff like that. It was already going. I was there anyway, right? I had to go to this because I wanted to, but it's like I got a chance to show everyone else that wasn't there, and probably a lot of people that were there that saw the video. I showed things that they didn't get to see because they're standing in line outside, just waving a little pom or holding up the sign. When you can go deeper and do that for folks, it paints you in a really positive light. So the ones that are going to sit there and call me a goofball and that's unprofessional, you wear this kind of stuff, and then they get a chance. The coworker, that guy's an idiot. He's in, well, maybe not all bad. He just showed this, and I didn't get a chance to leave work, but I got to watch my granddaughter, go off on the parade because I couldn't get out of work, or I had other commitments. So when you can kind of marry what you're doing in life, along with some of the fun stuff that's extreme. Like I posted a video earlier that I very likely are going to get several tickets from. I mean, this is really a little bit bold for me, especially on Facebook, but I listened to Jeff and Tristan. I put it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, all of it, and on my stories. And I'm not proud to say this. I broke like 5 laws at one time. This just was not my character, but when we volunteered for the Shop with a Cop, we're in a procession of police cars. A lot of times we ride in a police car. Well, there were a few different the way the shifts kind of worked out this year, being the 4 different times, they didn't have enough police officers to have all the kids riding cars and us riding cars with it. So we let the kids have the spot in the police cars. I drove kind of separately. I needed to get back for this event and get ready for it. So I was driving in between. It's like a mile to where the Walmart is. When I'm riding down the road, I'm like, I pulled my phone out. This is too cool not to video. Not smart, shouldn't have done it, but I'm Gen Xer. We invented driving and videoing, years ago before it became illegal. Anyway, what I'm saying is I got a chance to kind of capture it. I'm wearing a reindeer suit too, by the way. I'm like, this cops follow me, and then I'm also about to run a red light, but they're all the intersections were blocked, so it was as safe as an environment you get with it. But it's taken your comfort zone and pushing it a little bit further. That may be a little bit too extreme. I was a little bit nervous about doing that. I showed it to one of the someone there that I have a lot of respect for. It's like, can I get away with this and like not be look bad upon for it? He's like, I think you should post it. It's funny. So, all right, good enough. I'll still probably gonna get a ticket, I'm sure, because somebody's gonna get on there and complain about it, and they're gonna tell the wrong person. But at the end of the day, you got to do a little bit extreme in what you're doing, and be comfortable enough realizing there may be some circumstances to what you do. You may make somebody mad, you may offend somebody, but at the end of the day, Jeff, we've talked about this. If people are talking about you and it's not terribly bad, they're still talking about you. And a lot of times they're talking about you to someone else. And the other person may already have a different opinion. And if they don't, then they go look you up. Well, they're going to see all these other things that you have going on. They're going to resonate with the stuff that, the algorithms are going to put the things that they connect with the most anyway in front of them. So they will probably see some of the things they might relate to more so than the things they might not relate to. We all see the different videos show up from different people, not all their stuff, but some of it. So we got a good opportunity of really touching a lot of different folks by being ourselves. I think that's what it comes down to. And it's so funny when I hear people say, well, I'm boring. I don't really have any hobbies. I don't really do anything. It's like, you really do. You may have lost touch with some of those, but everyone has interest. Like Tristan just mentioned pickleball. You could be doing a whole lot of content on pickleball alone, which you probably are doing some. But I don't see that content yet because I'm not into pickleball, but I'm sure I'm going to see some now since I said it. They're listening, the phone's listening to me. It'll probably get all kind of stuff showing up. But those are the kind of things you just have to see opportunities, or maybe you have an interest in doing something. The food freeze dry machine, I've wanted one for a couple of years, and this is so dumb. I like freeze dried Skittles. I think they're cool. They're, my daughter likes them as well. It's like, I decided to go ahead and buy one of these machines. But right before I bought it, the guy, we're at Halloween, he said, hey, I'll bring you some freeze dried steaks that I did. We can try them out. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. And that's the video, like the reaction of that group had the reaction there. I don't know, 20,000 views in a week or so. I don't know. It's crazy. And then I'd spend 6 hours, all kind of time, and get 300 views on a video that I put a lot of effort into. But at the end of the day, they both have relevancy. We just have to figure out how they come back together. But I will be making more freeze-dried product content because for whatever reason, people are interested in it. And they may not be something that I gain business off of, but part of my goals are to gain some of my following across the board. And a lot of that stuff will cross market. I'll be able to benefit people that are listening to this group right now that connect with me, because the people that like freeze drying stuff in wherever city you're in now have a referral partner for there, right? So we have to think bigger and deeper and of abundance, but always think about how can we, I like to use the word capitalize on all aspects of what we're doing, because we can all benefit each other much more by just being ourselves and being more intentional.
Love it, dude. This has been powerful, man. It's been very powerful. I appreciate you being on today. Listen, folks, you can go check out Rett's stuff. I mean, he shared it obviously throughout this. He's giving you his ideas and strategies, and it's okay for you to take these and now go use them in your business. And you should. I think Rett would be tickled by that. And so grab this stuff. Obviously, Ed killed it. Rett, you killed it. This has been fantastic. I appreciate you giving us behind the scenes and even sharing some things that nobody's even seen yet. So super valuable, man. And we've shared the links in the chat. We'll drop them in there one more time to go follow not only Rett Harmon, but also the Retro group. Go check his stuff out. His team is doing some amazing things. I've got his postcard sitting right here. For those of you with teams, this right here is a great way to stand out. Do more fun things. Like, not only that, that's a culture game. That's a culture play with your team and with your company. Yes. And I love it.
Dude,
man.
Hold on that postcard. Some people may hate me now, but can you please stop sending me your postcards of Christmas with you and your family? Like, I know you're alive. I have social media. I don't really care about your photo shoot. Like, that does nothing to me.
Right.
I look at it and I'm like, what the fuck did somebody just send me? Trash. Do what Rett is doing. Like, make it fun. Like, I know you're alive. I'm watching you on social. I don't need another one of your postcards, but Rett's I need, because it makes me laugh. It's different. It stands out.
And the follow-up to that is my personal Christmas card list is much smaller. We have other team. I don't want to send one of my agents on our team. I don't want to send them my personal Christmas card. We have our own list of stuff. Everyone gets the ones we do quarterly, but the one that I do send out, and it's getting harder to get a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and 11-year-old, but they still participate and get it. But they wear this kind of crazy stuff too, because it's kind of expected. People, if we don't, people are kind of let down by it. So I do another photo shoot at the same time or similar with that, and we send those out as a follow-up. One will always go out right before the other, but by staggering a week or so, it's just another reiteration of, oh yeah, I remember that guy. And believe it's crazy how many places I've been where I see one of these things still hanging up, and it's from months ago. So it works, and it's cheesy and it's there, but like I said, 5 seconds of fun before you get rid of it. And, the call to action is always very, very subtle. And if you guys want to be added to my list, you're more than welcome. I'm fine. Whatever. Huh?
How do we get added to your list?
Can I just give him my cell phone number and just text me? Is that inappropriate to do that?
No, inappropriate for you, maybe.
I don't care.
Just make sure when you put your cell phone number that everyone that you send this to, remind them that they need to go to SocialCon in Los Angeles, January 23rd.
Absolutely. Okay? We'll do it. I'm excited about that.
I just put up the link.
But if you send me a text right now with that's my personal cell phone number. It's not a Google deal or anything. I'll add you to my postcard list. And if I run out of the ones we've already pre-printed for Christmas, I'll add you on the one we do in the spring. So if nothing else, it's something else you can take back to your office and look. There are very, very few original ideas that no one's ever done. Right? I take a blend of all the cool stuff I see other people do, and I do my own take on it. You guys do the same thing. Nothing is that sacred with doing a postcard and whatever, but you got to make it your own. But keep in mind, we started seeing traction from this after 2 years. 4 years into it, it's paying dividends. People don't forget about us. And that's huge. Like you mentioned the stats the other day, I'll screw them up, but you want to tell about the amount of folks that reuse the same agent again if they can remember who they were, but they don't use them or whatever. Mm-hmm. You got to stay in front of them. They're getting bombarded by everyone with all the new cool whatever it is, but they like that consistent, and they know they can get a hold of you. And the reason I know it works is because they call me with the stupid real estate questions all through the process, right? the ones that the waste of time question, what happened about this, or what about my settle? Those are the ones that are so bad because they're still remembering you after the transaction, still asking you for information. That's how you know you did a good job, and you stay in touch with them. And it just gives you that other little nudge, even if you're not the best at remembering to call them in between, which we should be doing too. This is another layer on top of the social, and some of them aren't on there, but the ones see it from social and they see this. But we have people that are actually they're we'll probably do a contest coming up soon. We'll guess the next or help us come up with the next theme for what we're going to do, or a theme, because one, we're starting to run out of ideas. So if you got an idea for that, I'm all ears too. But but you mentioned the culture. Yeah, when somebody wants to interview for the team or agent, it's like, how do you feel about this? And like,
will you fit into this reindeer suit? Yes or no?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
Are you going to actually walk around and be yourself and talk to people? You got to do it. And it's amazing how being yourself and being a little bit goofy, but the cool flip side of that is they had no idea how helping the kids that are shopping and stuff, how much it impacts their lives by being able to give their time and participate with that. Really, really special stuff.
Love it. Rett, thank you for being on, man.
Thanks, guys.
We'll definitely be in touch. Hopefully you get like 7,000 text messages today.
All right, they're coming through, man.
I love it. If you don't get at least 175 texts, I'll be disappointed.
All right, it's coming through now. So I hope I have enough cards left over to send back out. I may make it. Who knows? Y'all have a good one, guys. Thanks so much.
See you, brother. Take care, man.
Listening to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social. We are here to help you take your business to new levels through social media. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes, and come join us on our Drunk on Social Facebook page. And as always, make sure you leave us a great review on your favorite podcast app. Feedback and likes are very much appreciated.